Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gwen and today I'm going to be doing a book haul. I had planned to do something else, which was rearranging all my books in my room and having fun going through all of them with you, but I then decided to take an impromptu 5-mile walk yesterday and I am sore. I am hurting. So I'm going to do this one first and then next week we'll reorganize my bookshelves. So without further ado, let me show you all the books that I did acquire. It's been about like 3 to 4 months, maybe 3 months of acquiring these books. So it seems like a massive haul, but I assure you this has been trickling for a little bit. It hasn't been all in one go. Okay, so let's start with the books I have already read, am planning to read this month, or currently in the middle of, because I have 3 of those books specifically. The first one is The Fractured Dark by Megan E. O'Keefe. This is the second book in the Devoured Worlds, and this was fantastic. I ate this up within, I think, less than 24 hours, and I cannot wait to purchase the third one because this trilogy surprised the hell out of me how much I love it. So I won't be talking more than that, but if you've never heard of this and you're wanting a sci-fi book with a lot of mystery about an organism that destroys worlds and humans trying to create new colonies on worlds, but it keeps on getting destroyed by a mysterious thing, I'd recommend this one. Also, there's a nice subplot of enemies to lovers, and I actually am eating that up, so it's really good. It's really fun. The next book, the one that I'm currently in the middle of reading, is The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. This is a horror novel. I am about 70 pages into it, and what I can say is we're going through someone's memories, a woman's memories, as she is reconciling her trauma in an asylum. And it's England in 1865 or 1866, depending on the timeline. About 70 pages into it now, and it's finally showing the horror, so I'm excited about that. What I will say is I'm not super surprised so far what's happening, but I'm hoping it gets a little bit scarier. I'm not sure. I think this is one of those books where it's going to unnerve me, but not necessarily be scary. We'll see how it goes. And finally, the book that I'm planning to read this month because it is part of the Sci-Fi Critters Club, A Mercy of Gods by James S.A. Corey. This, I have no idea what it's about, but I do know it's another space opera by the duo. I still haven't read the Expanse series, which is my goal to start at least reading book 1 this year, so we'll see. I've seen reviews saying that this one is better than The Expanse, or other people saying they like The Expanse more than this one. Because I can't compare yet, I have no idea, but I do love space operas. I do very much enjoy them, so I'm guessing I'm going to be intrigued by this, but we'll see if I enjoy it or not. This will be the next book I'm reading after The Silent Companions. Okay, with those out of the way, let's talk about the books I have picked up. I don't know all the summaries, so I may read the book summaries. Let's just say the majority of these books are on a list that I'm hoping to get to by the end of the year. So let's begin with my smallest pile, which is my horror. I have actually purchased a lot more of my horror books already that were on my list, the 12 books before next October. If you haven't seen that video, I made it back in October of last year, and it's been really fun going through that list, but I've also been adding more books outside of that, like picking up other horror now outside of it, which is really great because I have finally figured out what I love about horror. I'm so happy that the list helped me find that. Let's just say historical, Southern Gothic, and folklore horror is my favorite. So we'll see if this one is going to be for me. This is Horror Movie by Paul Tremblay. I've never read this author before, so this will be my first of his works. I really like this one. Is very themed. I have watched a lot of gameplay with horror video games that are about found footage, and how the storytelling is usually you're seeing the found footage plus the experience of the current people that are trying to find all of these things before they die. So I was intrigued by the premise of this novel. I'm excited to pick it up when I do. It's also a lot smaller than I thought it was, but I guess everyone had the hardback originally, or I was just seeing the hardback because this is a tiny little paperback. But yeah, I do have high hopes for this one. The next grouping is sci-fi books. This first one I bought on impulse, but I do believe this is on my list of sci-fi to read this year. This is The Murderbot Diaries by Martha Wells. I picked this up because I've just been intrigued. It's a bunch of either short stories or novella size. This is obviously a grouping of them. I think it's 1 and 2, or it's 1 through 3. But on a distant planet, a team of scientists are conducting surface tests, shadowed by their company-supplied bot, a self-aware sec unit that has hacked its own governor module and refers to itself, though never out loud, as Murderbot. Scornful of humans, all it really wants is to be left alone long enough to figure out who it is and to watch its favorite show in its downtime. But when a neighboring mission goes dark, it's up to the scientists and Murderbot to get to the truth. I know a lot of people have had fun with this or really enjoy the story that goes throughout with Murderbot, so that's why I picked it up. I'm not sure when I'm actually going to start reading this, because this was a little bit impromptu with a pickup, but I did really like the cover However, though, there's more of these volumes instead of them being lone novels or novellas. I'm excited when I do pick this up, just don't know when. This next book is called Exhalation by Ted Chiang. I hope I'm pronouncing that last name correctly. This is a bunch of short stories that he's written. I know there's another short story collection he has, but this one has the most reviews that are like over 4 stars, I think, and a lot of people really, really enjoy his work in this one. So I'm excited. It's his take on what could possibly happen in the universe. It's a lot of mind-bending stories. 9 stunningly original, provocative, and poignant stories, tackling some of humanity's oldest questions along with new quandaries only he could imagine. These stories will change the way you think, feel, and see the world. So yeah, I'm hoping to pick this up within the next 2 months because I've really, really wanted to read it. So hopefully that happens. The next book is continuing a series, Children of Memory by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the 3rd installment in the Children of Time series. The 4th one will be coming out in April. So after reading the second one, Children of Ruin, I needed a break. So we'll see when I pick this up. I have seen early reviews for Children of Strife being phenomenal. So it's encouraging me to get through this one in order to get to a better one. I just felt like Children of Ruin let me down a little bit. It was still good, but it wasn't like Children of Time. And I know people don't like the 3rd one as much as the first 2 books. So I'm hoping it's good enough that it won't make me not want to pick up the 4th book. So we'll see. I hope I can get through it when I do, because I would like to read Children of Strife. Okay, this book is on my list of sci-fi series I want to get to at least the first book, and that is Empire of Silence by Christopher Ruscio. The series title is called Sun Eater, so all I know is that we're following one single guy and eventually he's going to consume the sun. At least that's my understanding. I have a lot of friends who have read the series and have fully enjoyed it, so I'm hoping that I will start this soon and see what the experience is like. I am nervous that I might not like it. I don't know why, but I am just fearful that I may not enjoy this book enough to want to continue. The other thing I've heard about this series is that the first book is the least liked, and all of the books after book 1 are just so much better. So that's really great to hear. I just hope I can get through this one. The last book in the sci-fi stack is The Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs. This is the first book in the Kingdom series. This one's really exciting. It's about someone who's trying to steal something and being followed by 2 other people who are then being followed by something else that they don't know is following them. And all of that immense pressure just sounds really fun and enticing in a fast read. So I'm hoping soon I can get to this trilogy. The next genre of books is manga. Now, I have done this haul previously at the end of last month, I think, on my shorter video, so you may have seen this already, so skip forward if you need to. But this is the manga that I've hauled in the last month or so. The first is Claymore, Volume 1. I'm really excited about this. These are women warriors who are killing monsters. It sounds like The Witcher, and I think I'm going to have a fantastic time with this. I've also been told that if I think I'm going to have a good time, I should just buy the collector's edition because I'll save money if I do that. But the collector's box is huge, and I don't have room to store that, so unsure what I'm going to do as of yet, but if I get hooked, I guess I get hooked. The next manga is Gachia Kata or Kuta. I am unsure how to pronounce the name, but this one sounded really fun. This manga is about someone who lives in the slums of a floating town where the poor scrape by under the shadow of the rich, who live a sumptuous life, simply casting their garbage off the side into the abyss. Then one day, Rudo is falsely accused of murder and his wrongful conviction leads him to an unimaginable punishment, exile off the edge with the rest of the trash. And then it follows him going down and living amongst other people and fighting monsters. It sounds like a really fun time, and I can't wait to pick it up when I do. The next in the pile is Vinland Saga. This is a manga that's all about Vikings, and it is based off of real people, so I'm excited to see where this takes me. I do love this version of the manga because they look like starbursts. They're all like fruity colors, and I thought that was fun. So I'm probably going to collect them if I do continue this series in this version. This next manga I'm so excited about. It is Vagabond. This is also another historical fiction, but I love the art in here. It is gorgeous, and it's definitely going to be the next manga I pick up while I'm reading Berserk, because I don't think I can wait any longer. I think I have to start reading this series soon. Vagabond is based off of Miyamoto Musashi, the most celebrated samurai of all time, and I was told what I read for the summary was actually kind of spoilery, so I'm not going to reread it again. This looks so good. I love this version as well of these editions because I love that the characters are on the spine of the book, so I'm going to be collecting it in this edition. I know some people said there's another version of this, but I'm okay with this version. This is cool. These last 2 are very heavy, but as you obviously obviously can see, I'm continuing my Berserk journey with these 2 deluxe editions, so I'm hooked, y'all. To this point, I have made it to volume 6, so I can't wait to continue the story. It's really got me hooked. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. But man, those deluxe editions are so heavy. Like, carrying one of them is fine, but when you have to hold 2 or more, oh my god. Okay, my last stack is fantasy, but the fantasy have the most books. So, here we go. So the first on my stack is The Silver Blood Promise by James Logan. I don't recall why I picked this up, but let's read the back a little bit. Lucana Cardova is a card-sharp academic dropout, and thanks to a duel that ended badly, the disgraced heir to an ancient noble house. His days consist of cheap wine, rigged card games, and wondering how he might win back the life he threw away. When Lucana discovers that his estranged father has been murdered by unknown assailants, he finds fresh purpose. Deprived of his chance to make amends for his mistakes, he vows to unravel the mystery behind his father's death. I'm not going to continue on because it's probably going to spoil more, but this sounds exciting, and I'm not against following assassins in a story. Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett is the next on my list, and I have had this in my TBR digitally for so long that I finally picked it up. This was a series, I think trilogy, that people loved back in the day, and I know people still enjoy his writing. I think there's a new series he's currently writing that a lot of people love, so I'm excited to see what all the hype was long ago. I'm not sure if I'll pick up his newer works because I don't think they're as intriguing with the storyline, but I'm excited to see what this one entails. The next book is The Art of Prophecy by Wesley Chu. I am very excited about this one, and I love the cover. These covers look gorgeous. The summary is so many stories begin the same way, with a prophecy, a chosen one, and the inevitable quest to slay a villain, save the kingdom, and fulfill a grand destiny. But this is not that kind of story. It does begin with a prophecy. A child will rise to defeat the eternal Khan, a cruel, immortal god king, and save the kingdom. And that prophecy did anoint a hero, Jian, raised since birth in luxury and splendor and celebrated before he has won a single battle. But that's when the story hits its first twist. The prophecy was wrong. I'm not going to read more than that because I feel like it might spoil more of the story than I want. I have seen this cover. I've heard people talk about it and love it, so I'm excited to jump into it. I've heard mixed things about books 2 and 3, whether people do enjoy the whole trilogy or not, so I'm excited to see if I will enjoy this series as well. I think y'all know The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. This is also a series that I have not read, and I finally took the plunge and bought the book. This has also been on my TBR for a very long time, digitally at least, so I can't wait to go into this one. I think this is another heist one. But you know, the more the merrier, right? I don't think anything's wrong with that. So the next book that I picked up was A Song of Legends Lost by M.H. Ayinde? I hope that's right. I have been so excited about this book. A lot of people have been loving it. I believe the second book is either coming out this year or it's already been published. Not entirely sure, but this is a song of rebellion, a song of war, a song of legends lost. The 9 lands have been at war against the Grey Bloods for thousands of years. The Invoker clans, warriors of noble blood who summon their ancestors to fight with them in battle, are all that stand between the people and destruction. But the war has gone on too long. Soon a general draft is called by the 9 lands' reckless king to take the battle to their enemies and defeat them once and for all. A plan that seems doomed to fail. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm so excited. And it's pretty chunky for what it is. So I'm very excited about this. Also, it's got a lot of authors on here I've read from before or have books that I still need to read from. So that's really exciting. The next book in my pile is The Empire of the Vampire by Jake Kristoff. This is an author I've not read from before, though I've tried many times, and I just lost interest in his other trilogy, which I think was the Assassin Girl one that had footnotes. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But this one caught my eye because a lot of people have been reading this and also have been giving it such high praise. And I was like, you know what? I love vampires, so why not? What I didn't realize from this book, though, let me show y'all, is that there's illustrations in here. Not full color, mind you, but still, this is what I have wanted from fantasy books for so long, is to have title pages for every chapter to give us a vibe. Maybe show us a character. I don't know. It seems really cool to do. So I'm really, really excited about that. I didn't realize it had images in it until I picked it up at the bookstore. So I'm definitely more inclined now to pick it up because it has those illustrations, which is going to be so helpful. Okay, the last 3 in this stack are actually books later on in the series that I got, but I haven't started the trilogies yet. The reason I picked them up was because they were at a cheaper price. I went to Book Outlet. My mom was selling some of her cookbooks, so I went with her, and then I found these and I was like, oh my god, these are like half off basically, and they look brand new. I can't tell you what the stories are about, but I'm glad I picked these up. So I picked up the last 2 books in the Covenant of Steel series by Anthony Ryan. I have read Anthony Ryan's works before and I really did enjoy them, so I kind of assume I'm going to like this whole trilogy in general, and this series is on my list of books to get to by the end of the year. And last but certainly not least, the Bloodsworn Saga. This is book 2, The Hunger of Gods by John Gwynne. I also love John Gwynne's works. I have read all of The Faithful and the Fallen plus the follow-up trilogy after that. And so I know I'm going to love Bloodsworn Saga. So when I saw that this was 50% off, basically, I had to snag it. So that was 24 books. And I'm not stopping with buying books that I think I'm going to enjoy. And I'm also not going to stop borrowing from the library of books that I'm going to enjoy. I've got a few holds that I need to pick up. But from this list, let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know which ones I should push to my top of the list, because I don't know. I'm kind of in this area where I don't want to choose my TBR anymore. I kind of just want to pick how I feel in the moment for the next book. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!